Ladies and gentlemen, it's June 19th. Lenny Ladner reporting from Glendale, Kentucky. Last week we had an absolutely horrible event. Whether it happened, whether it was staged, whether the government perpetuated it, we had a horrible event. I'm sure you know what it was. Let's talk about something that George Soros's best boy agent, Rahm Emanuel, said. He said it many years ago, quote, "Never let a crisis go to waste." And what are they doing? You have a Muslim who shoots up a gay nightclub, and they want to go after the good gun owners. By the way, if you get a chance, look up a video on YouTube that I made several years ago called "Pretty Neat Trick." Create a problem, offer a solution. That solution gives you and your cohorts, your like-minded people, more power. Have a shooting, take away the legal guns, and you have a hell of a lot more power. Anyway, that's a pretty neat trick. Never let a crisis go to waste. I spoke to a couple of good friends of mine this week. I'll tell you what they said. Charlie Smith, you could look him up on my website, voteforlenny.com, smartest man I know. I strongly recommend you listen to Sylvia Rule. It's an hour. It'll straighten you out. But Charlie Smith said they're going to limit, quote, self-loading weapons to qualified people. The question should be, who's going to qualify the people? Some left-wing psychiatrist? I'm sorry, we got a problem with this. My good friend Richard Archie in Tennessee said what they're going to try to shove down our throat tomorrow with the help of a Republican Congress is expanding the national instant background check, which was an absolute failure when Clinton introduced it. The whole idea of the background check is to make sure bad guys can't buy guns. Well, I'm sure the bad guys can get guns, and the good guys who, what the whole idea of getting the background check through Congress in 1994 was very simple. You're going to buy a gun, they're going to have a number of the gun, they're going to associate it with your driver's license, social security number. They're going to ask an FBI agent if you're qualified to buy the gun, if you're not a felon. And the records were supposed to disappear. Of course, Schumer and the rest of the gun grabbers put something in that bill to make sure that the records stay. But anyway, what they want to do is they want to expand this to private sales. This way they are going to know where every gun is in 20 years when they go to pick them up. The third thing I want to get into is a trader by the name of Christopher Murphy. He's a Democrat from Connecticut, but there are enough Republicans from Tennessee that are also traitors, sellouts. And Chris is the new poster boy for common sense gun control. Well, the reason he's the poster boy is too many people are on to Schumer and Feinstein and the rest of the left-wing Jews. So they need to get an Irish Catholic machine politician liberal from Connecticut to do the job. You know, somebody's paying the guy to say things, and the longer he lasts in politics, the more money he makes. And of course, the people of Connecticut are never going to get rid of this slob. That's because the Republicans will never run a strong candidate. Maybe the Libertarians will think about it. But anyway, I don't understand how a good American of Irish descent could support any gun control, because gun control is a British concept. I don't know how he could be a liberal Democrat and support Fabian socialism, because after all, it was the British that cleaned out Ireland's potato harvest, famine of 1847, I think. And I think the question that should be asked to Senator Murphy is, did you write that bill? The answer is no. The Justice Department wrote it. And we all know what runs the Justice Department. There is no justice unless you're a communist. And anyway, you may want to know where I stand. I'm Lenny Ladner. I'm running for Congress in Tennessee's 7th District. And I'm sorry I'm so out of it right now. I haven't had breakfast yet. And I tried to put a lot of this together driving down the road. But anyway, you want to know where I'm at? I'm running for Congress in Tennessee's 7th District as an independent. And my stand on gun control is very simple. The Second Amendment was written to protect the people from the government. The Constitution was written to protect the people from the government. The Second Amendment was written so that a citizen could protect himself from the government. They want the guns to put us in slavery. You cannot enslave an armed society. Common sense gun control is still gun control. And by the way, the original gun control came out of the 1968 Crime Control Act, which Senator Thomas Dodd, father of Christopher Dodd, son of William Dodd, ambassador to Germany before the war, introduced. Word for word, it is the 1934 Nuremberg laws, or 37 laws, and I don't have a copy of lethal laws with me, but my good friend Aaron Zellman exposed that back in the early 90s. All right, where do I stand? I'm against any form of gun control. The Constitution was written to protect the people from the government. The Second Amendment was written so that the people can defend themselves against the government. I'm in favor of you owning anything you want, transporting it any way you want, as long as it's transported safely. Please do not have an accident with a gun. Please do not use a gun illegally. That is a crime. But if somebody breaks into your house, plug them. If you want to vote for me, vote for me. If you don't, don't. This is where I stand. I will vote against anything which would increase the size, the cost, the reach, and power of the government. Gun control gives the government more reach and more power. Lenny Ladner, www.voteforlenny.com. I'm sorry this took so long. If you like what I say, you need to share it. Please share it. If you don't like what I say, I'll try harder next time. Thank you.